couldn't find the record button. Are you kidding me? How many times have I done that? I couldn't. It was like it was a snake. It would have bit me, Ginger. Anyway,
Yeah.
hello, Ginger Bailey. She was our
Hello.
host on the radio show last night, and she did a fabulous job. Ginger Bailey at psychicmedium.com, which of course we'll put in the description box. GingerBayley at psychic medium. Psychic at psychic.
No,
psychicmedium.com.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. Paula will get
It's
it
long.
straight. Paula will do it. All right, we're going to talk about, with my sweet boy Erik, food shortages. You know, there's, especially with the Ukraine war, etc. You know, there's been this prediction that there will be worldwide food shortages that people are a little bit afraid of. But, you know, remember, don't live life in fear, people. We don't want to manifest this as a collective. But hi, Erik, I love you.
Hi, Mama, I love you.
Oh,
He's just glowing with love.
Oh, all right. This is a long one. This is all from the community, people. This one is kind of a long question. In the past, it's probably more of a history lesson. Stalin implemented some plans that had drastic effects on agriculture, and that led to terrible famines that caused the deaths of millions of people. This man-made famine, the man-made famine in Ukraine in 1932 to 33, has been recognized as an attempted genocide against the Ukrainian people. Mao Zedong in China did the same thing with the Great Leap Forward program, causing a major damage to agriculture, and as a consequence, the worst famine in human history. God. Now, Biden, Trudeau, and many other states are implementing plans for agriculture that eliminate the use of pesticides, causing an instant drop in food production and most likely triggering a serious world food shortage. Look at what happened in Sri Lanka. Is this an attempt from the governments to control people? In 1974, U.S. Secretary of State Kissinger said, "Who controls the food supply controls people." So is food scarcity planned by the deep state, and have food productions and farmland been set on fire on purpose? Oh, wow. So what's going on with governments?
Okay, so what Erik's saying is that part of it is for control. Part of it is through the deep state. You know, part of it is, yes, because of money. It's money. Money and greed, he's saying. The thing is that in America, what it's going to do is it's going to hurt the countries that that aren't as, you know, rich as other countries. You know, the poorer countries, it's going to hurt them. They're going to migrate, he's saying, you know, into the areas where there are more supply. He's saying that that it is part of that to control, not just to control people, but to also control population control.
Yeah.
So, but Erik is saying that their plan is not going to be 100% successful.
Well, I hope not. Well, how in their minds,
even though they need to do this,
how do they think that's going to control people?
because if you have control over people's life, actually, their survival, you know, then that's controlling them. It causes fighting, it causes separation, and you can have more control over people when there's separation and fighting.
Chaos.
So he's saying there is it's partly them. The other part is just the matter of the planet being, you know, overwhelmed with people, and the things that are going on with the economy, the increase in prices. You know, the war that causes problems with the
wheat production,
fuel. The fuel and the oil supplies, you know, tractors, trucks, you know, all those need that.
Fertilizer is
fertilizer. Fertilizer is a big one, and Russia makes a lot of it. So it has it has a lot to do with it.
Well, has farmland been set on fire on purpose?
No,
Oh,
I'm hearing that is more of a natural thing.
that sounds like
Yeah,
that to me.
natural.
I'm
Yeah,
getting.
natural.
Okay. Will the grid hold out so our frozen foods survive?
Frozen food supply is going to go down. It's not going to be completely diminished. And he's saying that what's going to happen is we're going to end up helping a lot of these countries, which is mostly going to affect our economy, of course. It's going to increase the problems that we're already having. So
Yeah.
it's not like people are going to be completely diminished of food and famine to where, you have nothing. It's going to be
Okay.
certain items and things like that. So,
Okay.
and there's reasons behind it,
What
spiritual
can
reasons.
will this questionable, at least in the US, uh, electrical grid be able to support all the freezers that are these frozen foods are in?
Yeah, he's saying yes to that. It
Okay.
will. It will.
Is it true we are going to eventually have to start going back to growing and trading days?
Yeah. Eric 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 is in some overalls, I have to tell you. He's wearing some
Oh,
overalls
he's
with the
a
hay fork.
farmer.
Yeah, with the hay fork, right? And so what he's saying is he's saying that a lot of you're going to start seeing a lot of individual families growing their own gardens more so than you see right now. It's going to be like they're going to be trying to change like laws for inner city animals like chickens and
Okay.
things like that, right?
Okay, good.
And you're going to see a lot more inner city farming, he's saying.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
community-based farming too.
Right, yes,
All
yeah.
right,
It's going to be communities and families and individuals.
oh, that's good. Do we really need to put food in Mylar bags and the food grade plastic storage bins? I don't know why that is. Is that going to be necessary or not? Just a yes or no is good.
No, no, he's saying no. He's saying no. It's going to move too fast to have to store it like that.
Okay.
It's going to move too
Oh,
fast.
yeah, I
Individual
bet.
people will have to store
Okay.
foods.
How long do we need to prepare for the food shortage, and what areas of the world will they be in? So how long to prepare?
I heard saying that you should have at least a 6 month supply.
Mm,
Okay. And rotation if
yeah,
and of course it's not easy, he's saying, because of financial problems, right
yeah,
now, and
yeah.
the cost of food. The cost of food is going to stay up for a little bit because there is, it's a supply and demand.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what he's saying is that I lost my train of thought. We were talking. I just totally lost my train of thought.
Oh, I did
What
too.
was
So
what
don't
was
worry.
the
Oh,
second
yeah.
part of
Okay.
the question? I'm sorry.
So 6 months pretty much. So where,
Yeah.
what are the like three main parts of the world,
Oh
where,
yeah, the countries. Okay,
yes.
that's what it was. The countries. Okay, so it's going to be the countries that are already struggling
Yeah.
financially,
Yeah.
is what it's going to be, and it's going to be over in Europe. America is going to be okay. We're going to be okay, food wise, food supply wise, but it's the prices that are really going to hurt us.
Yeah.
Um, because we are one of the biggest food export, countries. But the countries over in Europe and in the Middle Eastern,
Yeah.
are really going to struggle. The ones that are really like already having a hard time with hunger and
Africa,
getting the food.
probably.
Right,
Africa.
Africa. There's a few of them. There's a few countries over there that he's saying that are going to
Okay.
struggle.
Well, if y'all stock up on canned goods, be sure you get a can opener,
Yeah.
not an electric one. Um,
Hammers don't work. I've tried that.
Never you have, huh? What are good staples to buy, Eric? Good food staples.
Although he's saying, although processed foods are probably not the best, but when you need to store things, the processed, foods
For the
like rice,
preservatives.
rice, flours,
Yeah.
anything that has the great beans,
Yeah.
bags of beans, like not the box cereals, but things like, the oats,
Okay.
like
Grains.
oats, grains, things like that. He's saying will last longer, and canned
Okay.
foods.
Okay. For sure. All right. What food items will we see the most shortage of? Well, there goes the obesity problem in the world.
I was just thinking that. I
Oh my
was
God.
just thinking that. Um, oh, it's gonna be like
Twinkies.
well, no, it's gonna be perishable type foods that we're gonna
Yeah.
see a lot of shortages, like
Yeah.
produce, dairy's gonna
Oh,
be,
yeah.
it's gonna be one of the most expensive probably with the dairies, and meats, but meats and dairies and produce.
Okay. So, there recently has been this decrease in chickens because of this, whatever, some disease, some infectious disease. So they had to slaughter just millions of chickens, and therefore the egg supply is down. Was that related to deep state activity?
Eric's saying no. He's saying no, it
Okay.
wasn't. There, it was some kind of a virus that was,
Yeah, I think it's
yeah,
virus. Yeah.
and the bacteria. It was both
Oh, wow.
viral and a bacteria they were
Poor
getting on them.
chickens. So they had to slaughter them. Ugh. Should
Yeah.
we be gardening in whatever space we have in our backyard or pots?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, why
Yeah,
not?
that's an absolute, he said. Yes. Yeah. And he says you are gonna see this. You're gonna
Oh
see
yeah,
more
I
of
bet.
this. Yeah. Yeah.
Are these heat waves the U.S. is experiencing caused on purpose? How could they do that?
No, this is a global thing. This is something that is going on with nature, and a little bit of global warming, mixed together. Yeah,
In the
it's a
70s,
changing
we had
it's
a
changing
problem.
of the tilt of the planet. It's
Oh,
changing a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah.
In the 70s, it was terrible. And on the news, it's like, this is the 30th day of over 100 degrees and stuff like
Oh
that.
my
So
gosh, we
very
hit
slow.
112 yesterday here.
Oh,
It's like
oh yeah, you're in
early.
California.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my,
really early here, and it was like at 6 o'clock this morning. It was 78 outside.
oh
It's
my
pretty
God.
hot. Yeah,
Oh, that's
pretty hot
hot?
one.
Oh,
No, I
oh
mean
my
it's
God.
at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm
Oh yeah,
saying.
no, that's not good.
Yeah,
Not for
yeah.
California.
So yeah, and we're hitting in the triple digits, pretty high up there
Really?
this week.
My God.
Heat wave, heat wave.
Oh God. All right, so let's see. Erik, who is this new guy on YouTube? Who says that there will be no lack or famine, etc. Ismael Perez, cosmic warrior. Is there any truth behind what he says? I mean, I know scarcity is an illusion, but what's going on with this guy?
Okay, Erik is saying that there's a little bit of truth. It's not that there's not going to be no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think what he's showing me is that where this guy's like visions are is more so on like the long term, and
Okay.
yeah, like the long term, and he's part of it is right, but not all of it. No.
Where is he getting his information? Is he channeling it?
Yeah, he's channeling it. Some of it he doesn't realize he's channeling, but yeah, he's channeling the information, and some of it is just his own viewpoints,
Okay.
his own
Filters. Okay.
you
Will
know
this lesson?
during things. Yeah,
Okay.
the way he's feeling
Yeah.
things coming through.
Will this lesson show us to work together and not rely on farming from different places? This reminds me of our change from into the Aquarius age, where we're going from contrast consciousness, where we survive by survival of the fittest, to unity consciousness where we survive by cooperation and collaboration. Is
Yeah.
this part of it?
At the very beginning, we had the internet like froze. So what
Oh,
was the
okay.
first part of the question? Just the first part. I heard everything but the first part of the question.
Will this lesson show us to work together and not rely on farming from different places?
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's going to also help bring the country. It's supposed to work on this is going to help bring the country back together, he says a little bit, because this country does pull together, and we're also when we're under like stress or pressure, it kind of brings us together and forces us to move forward to change. And so that's part of it that's going to happen, is pushing forward for change. But yeah, it's going to help that. It's going to help
good.
working together.
All right, this is an interesting question. Who is really in charge of everything? Is there a single being that actually calls the shots? In other words, who oversees all? It's you, Erik, isn't it? I knew
it. He's bowing. He's bowing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'll be here all week.
Okay, so now, do they mean spiritually, or do they mean over the world? Like, because there's not one person in charge of everything on the planet.
No,
it's many, but like in our country, there's actually a group. But
like the global elite, that kind of stuff, the Bilderberg complex,
right, stuff like that.
And
then the spiritual aspect of it is the collective.
And that's what I thought. I think I'm starting to channel better. Yeah, we're all in charge. We are a whole and part of God, people.
That's right.
All right. Will we have the change we need in government to be able to turn around the food crisis in 2024? Will that change occur in 2024?
It's not going to change and turn around all the way because it's still happening. We're kind of just starting, off at the beginning. So it's going to be occurring next year and some in 2024. It will eventually turn around, though. It will, but it's not going to be that quick.
I don't think so.
That's what Eric's saying. Yeah, he's saying it's not going to be that quick.
Okay. How many people will die from starvation in the next 12 months?
He's saying there's people that dying of starvation already. Already. Yeah, all the time. Right. In the countries that they have the most poverty. But from this food crisis, it's not really like the numbers are going to increase than what we already have is bad until probably that will happen like probably in the next year, because it's just getting to that point. So he's not really giving me a number, though. He's just saying it's going to increase probably just a little bit, because we're already having it.
Yeah. This is an interesting one. I always hear we have enough food for everyone. It's just that the distribution is flawed. It's like, okay, the people in Africa go to a place. Well, it's very difficult. Let's assist them in going to migrating to farmable land. Anyway, is that true? Like stores throwing food in bins when not sold, or suppliers binning, like throwing away ugly produce, et cetera, et cetera. So is there enough food? It's just distribution and geography that's the problem?
No, it really is a shortage. But Erik is saying that we do waste a lot, and we're trying to find ways. There's people working on this right now to find ways to have less waste, because there is a lot of food waste. And but no, it's not something that's being done on purpose. There really is a problem because of the being able to get it from there to here, whether it be on a boat or because it costs fuel, oil, gas, all that stuff.
Not gonna have an electric cargo ship, people.
Right. So that is one of the biggest problems. He just said along with the droughts.
Yeah,
droughts and things like that.
Will we eventually be able to control weather so we can increase rain in areas that have been desertified, where they become deserts over time?
Yeah, that's really further down the line though, and it's all that's also going to have its downsides. You
Really?
know? Oh
Oh, it can
yeah.
be weaponized?
That and the fact that humans really shouldn't be messing with too much of nature, because
Yeah,
nature pretty much takes care of everything if you let it. If you try
right.
to control it too much, it'll backfire on you.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I can imagine. But I mean, I worry about the tribes in Africa who are just, they hunt, some of them, but to be able to become an agrarian society to survive, I mean, do they need to be agrarian societies to survive? If so, how can they grow crops in, areas that are just deserts or just so drought?
Well, that
ravaged?
yeah, that's why we need to get it over to them. They rely a lot on others bringing the food
Yeah.
into them. So that's why they're going to have a lot of trouble, when the food supply and the moving the food supply around gets a
Yeah.
little harder and harder. And there's a lot of control going on over there with the government.
Oh, I
So,
bet. Oh,
it's
God.
kind of like the big dog eats first kind of
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
like that.
Oh, maybe they
Yeah.
should create giant hydroponic farms that are covered, like
Mhm.
greenhouses and that there's not a lot of water waste with those things and
They will. They will, Eric said. They will. They
over
will
acres.
eventually.
Yeah, it seemed like
Yeah,
that would be
they
awesome.
will.
I would
Lots of
consider
green,
that.
lots of greenhouse. He's showing me like all these greenhouses.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's gonna get better and better, but it's gonna take some time.
Yeah. Although we'll have to just stick with Soylent Green. Soylent
He's
Green is evil. Recycle dead people. Eat all your pasta
uh,
now.
uh,
Stop people starving in Biafra. Starving Armenians, whatever the generational
yeah, one,
ploy is over kids who don't eat. Or
yeah.
lick your plate. There's a little design at the bottom. Pretty. That's what my parents used on us.
Oh no.
All right. So why has Bill Gates bought up so much farmland in the United States? Is it to put our farmers out of business like they're doing in Europe? I didn't know that. Wow.
I don't think he's trying to put anybody out of business, even though his actions sometimes do that.
Okay.
That's not his first intention, but it's money, it's greed, it's money. He wants it. It's almost like with this guy, there's a security to owning. Like there's a
Oh,
fear. He has such a fear of not having that it's like I need to make sure that I'm taken care of and I have control of it.
God, you
So it's
think
more
you
like
have
a
enough.
control and greed, right?
Oh my
Right.
God, you
Yeah.
think he'd have enough. Be satisfied
Yeah.
with what he has.
Yeah. Except for that's why he keeps doing it, because his mind is not satisfied of it. And he just wants to make
Oh,
sure that he's like, completely always in control of whatever happens.
yeah. What about China? They're buying up a lot of farmland, especially apparently around our military installations.
It's just to have, I mean, this country has one of the best farming lands,
Yeah.
the farming communities and great agriculture. And so they know that. And they don't want to like be without either. So,
Oh,
theirs is all about business and control. Of course, theirs isn't just for their own self, it's also to control and make money off of what they give to us too. They
okay.
want to have some control, and then
Yeah.
it's cheaper to grow it here and sell it to us than it is to grow it there and
Oh,
bring it
and
to
ship
us.
it. Yeah.
Right,
So are
right.
they going to use this whole thing for nefarious purposes, like to starve us? Just like they could do that with the
No,
pharmaceuticals. Most of our pharmaceuticals are made in China, so they could
right.
easily say, "Sorry, no more blood pressure pills, no more insulin, no more." And
Right, and that'll just force us to open up places to make them here, which, again, economy problems.
yeah,
But
and that'll be bad for them in the long run.
right, right. So no, I don't think it's a matter of starving us, because they don't have that much power with a few acres of land. I mean, I don't know how much they
Okay.
have, but whatever they own, they don't have the power to starve us with that small amount that they own.
Okay.
We're too vast in this country of Americans owning and
Yeah.
supplying us with food.
Okay. Uh, will this bring people out in the streets going mad? Like some people are irritable when they don't eat. Will this cause hanger riots? In other words, I think there's
Yeah, you won't see that here so much because we always help those that have less in our
yeah.
country, you know. But in other countries where they don't have that or they don't have the resources to do that, it will cause fighting. Yes, it will cause fighting.
Will it increase
Definitely.
crime? People
Yes,
robbing? Yeah.
yes, it will. It will.
How often did early men have to fast? Early
They
cavemen, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't have to fast. I guess maybe what this person's asking is how long they usually go in between meals
Oh yeah.
until they found it. So it was different times, but they definitely, what Eric is showing me is that they definitely knew how to stock up. They knew how to, they would eat and feed themselves when they hunt and
Mhm.
gather their food, but they also knew how to store food. So
Wow.
through the winter months they would be
Yeah.
taken care of. So
Right.
but there wasn't like a certain time that they had to go for fasting, but they didn't
Okay.
have to eat every day. Did
Okay.
not have to eat every single day.
Imagine.
No. Their bodies just were to
God,
where we don't have to eat every day either. So
we probably don't.
fasting is very good for your body.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. In moderation. One of my
Right.
kids thinks that food is what slowly kills you. So she's so thin now.
Mm,
It's like now we've
actually,
convinced her that no, it's better.
you let her just tell her that the digestive tract is the heart of your system. What you eat is what you
Yeah.
are, and if you don't eat anything, then you're nothing. Just
Oh, well,
kidding.
that's true. You type starvation. This person also said, did Adam have to slay animals for food? So I don't know if there's an Adam and Eve anyway, but you know how you can tell if you found their bodies perfectly preserved in a cave? No
Yeah.
belly button.
I love it.
All right,
If they were mummified, right? So what was it? If Adam did
Adam,
it?
did Adam have to slay animals for food? First of all, was there an Adam and Eve? Or is that just a biblical construct?
Um,
You don't have
Eric
to
is
answer that if you're gonna think
yeah.
it's gonna piss people off.
Eric, yeah, Eric is saying that it was a biblical beginning. It's
Okay.
biblical beginning. It's a biblical story and it's important. It's
Yeah.
important. Religion is important.
Yeah,
So
it's really interesting. If you go on the Gaia channel, they have this, I can't remember if it was Ancient Aliens or whatever. They talk about the truths behind the Garden of Eden and all that.
Mhm.
It's related to Anunnaki and Enki and
Yeah,
all that. There's some truth.
there actually were, but they weren't the first. Like it was maybe like
Right.
the way he's showing me is the first
Alien hybrids, maybe?
like yeah, and like first the beginning of the religious
Okay.
ritualistic people,
Okay.
for in that kind of way. It's kind of hard to explain the
Okay.
way I'm
What are the
here
countries that will suffer the most? We got
seeing
that.
it.
All right. So will Scandinavia be okay?
Scandinavians.
I have a lot of clients from peeps from Norway
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Finland.
they're part of the European area.
Okay.
So yeah, so they'll be okay. Again, it's gonna be money. It's gonna
Uh,
be the price is not so much the not having so much food
how much it'll cost?
in those areas. Yeah,
Mm.
and it's the cost of it. But there are places that will not just be cost, but lack of
Oh,
food.
okay.
But no, Eric is saying no, that they're going to be okay because they're right by all the European their European area, and
Yeah.
they kind of work with each other.
What European country will struggle the most?
I'm not getting, okay, so I don't get a name. It's because there's like just areas.
Oh, areas. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just areas of,
Because
and
famine does not know borders necessarily. Yeah.
right, right. So it's just areas, and I'm seeing kind of like different areas in the out. It's like I can see it like on the outside of like Germany and France, all on the outside of it.
Okay.
You know, those little areas right there have a hard time. And
Okay.
then some of, yeah, and there's a lot of places in the African area, but that's
Oh,
way
yeah.
over. So yeah.
What about South Africa?
Um, South Africa is a little bit higher in the higher up on the
Absolutely.
chain
Yeah.
with financial gain. You
Yeah.
know, they have a lot more resources,
So
so
they'll be
they're
okay.
not going, yeah, they'll be okay. Yes,
All
they'll be
right.
okay.
What about Canada? I have a lot of Canadian peeps.
Yeah, Canada is going to be okay too. Canada will be okay.
Okay.
I was trying to think of the names of the countries that he was showing me, but they're just little spots of them is what
Yeah.
he was showing, but
Yeah.
I can't.
And whatever, we can go to the Hallmark Channel and find Monrovia. She's the Princess of Varovia and all that. It's always an
Yeah,
idea. So, but
yeah,
Andorra, you know. All right.
yeah.
So what about Russia?
No, Russia is also well off with,
Yeah, they got a
you
lot of
know,
farmland too,
their
probably.
resource, yeah, their resources, and they also have the oils and fuels that's needed,
Yeah.
and the fertilizers, you know.
And
So
the Ukraine, I'm not, you know, they do have a bunch of wheat production, but I don't know how those wheat fields are doing with the war. But
they're not yielding like they usually do.
yeah,
It is affecting them on a big scale. Eric said it
will
is
that
affecting it.
affect Europe on it because they get most of their wheat from Ukraine?
Yeah, they're not, it's not going to take it all away from them though. What it's going to do is it, again, just drive the prices up. I feel like I keep saying that, but
Okay,
it's, you
well,
know,
it's true. It's true.
yeah, I
Okay.
that's, you know, just what he keeps showing me is money. He keeps showing me money, money,
Yeah.
money, more money.
Okay. China, India, Japan, will either of those three areas have
And
significant problems?
India's gonna struggle in some areas. Some areas are gonna struggle because what Eric is saying is that some areas are cut off from some society, not society, but you
Oh
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like they're cut off to where they don't, they
Yeah, is
usually
this
rely on
caste
their own.
system, the
Yeah,
untouchables?
yeah, that, well, they're like not like, you know how we have big cities and smaller cities that we take care of, you know,
Yeah,
help from the bigger cities. He's saying that there's some people that are cut off in a way where they just rely on themselves and they'll do okay, but they're going to have a hard time getting supplies.
yeah.
And then um what was the other country you said? India and
Japan
Japan. Japan's going to be okay. Japan,
is affluent
they've
enough. Yeah.
got their bases covered.
Okay.
You know, but you know, there are people there that also on the lower end of, you know,
Yeah.
the financial chain are gonna struggle. They're really gonna struggle, but they have control over all of this. You know, China
Yeah.
controls everything.
Oh
The
yeah.
higher ups control everything.
Why would we choose to have a contract of famine? Famine has been going on for so long. There has not been anyone who has died in this manner that has caused the world to shift to feed everyone. So a contract to suffer from hunger to influence the world to end famine does not seem to be ending the situation. Yes, this is a game, but it can be a game of misery. So, you know, in other words, why has famine been around so long, but has not really we've not made progress to end the misery called.
Yeah, famine's not going to end. It is part of our experience here on this planet. This is a dense planet. We're meant to go through things, you know, that are uncomfortable and make you suffer. But it actually, Eric is saying that it has made some difference. not on a global where you can see such a huge change, but it has made some difference for communities. There are people that go in and help. There are things that are set up to bring, help to these people. And of course it gets harder when we're struggling too,
Yeah.
but with the money and the transporting. But he's saying that it's never going to go. It's just going to be a part of our experience here. And unfortunately, what it does is he's saying that it brings good too, if you can see the good from it, like working together, helping each other, keeping you humble,
Right.
I mean, there's all kinds of little things that it does for your soul on a
Yeah.
good level.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Realizing, being grateful for what you do have,
Right,
things
right,
like that.
right.
How can we, this is actually two questions, but I'm going to do both of them at once because they're very similar. How can we raise consciousness to avoid famine? If we all visualize the earth beautiful, lush, and plentiful, will that stop food scarcity? So how can we raise the consciousness to avoid famine, and will visualization help?
What it does is he's saying that the visualization, it does help to a point. It's not going to get rid of it, but it's gonna help not just bring more food. It will help people deal with it, and it'll help more people want to help. More people want to come together, more people be involved, because sometimes there's people that just want to stay out and not be a part of it, but that will help people want to. It will help people, want to come together and help others more than it would if you didn't do it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
All right. What emotion in humanity are we putting out in the cosmos that is causing the rise of famine? Fear, probably. Maybe greed. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, fear does it. Fear does do some of it. It can change. It can change the level of it happening. It's not gonna,
Yeah.
fix it completely, but it does. Fear does cause more problems on all kinds of levels.
Yeah.
Not just the famine levels, but all kinds of levels in the whole consciousness itself.
Yep.
So, more people, just know that fear is not a way to go.
No.
It's always going to be okay. Just got to keep telling yourself that,
Right.
no
I
matter
mean,
what.
we are eternal beings. What's the worst that can happen? Right.
Right.
We
Right.
starve to death, we come back another life, and
Right.
we have plenty. Who knows? I
Right.
mean,
And everything's just an experience. It's all an
yeah.
experience.
Yeah, this
So.
is the dream state. This is the stage. Real home is where Erik, where you are, right?
Right. Right. Yes. Right,
Yeah.
Mom. This is right, Mom.
Okay, that's all the questions. Erik, do you want to say anything
Wow.
more about food shortages?
He wants to say that that worry is also a negative
Oh,
energy to put
yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
He's saying, so not just fear but worry, and just work together with each other and know that it is going to get better. Oh, and he's also saying that things seem to get pretty bad right before they get better. So when you see things, getting bad, it doesn't mean they're going to, be that way forever. One thing you can count on is change, he said.
Right.
One thing you can always count on is change.
That is true.
And things that that you struggle with are going to push the energies to increase and be better, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds right. I mean, worry is kind of a facet of fear. It's like apprehension for the future. Will there be enough for me? Yeah, and fear is just a very overarching.
Right.
There's fear, there's love, nothing else. The facets of
That's
both.
right.
All right, I don't have anything else to say. I love you, Erik. Ginger, this has been
Love you,
wonderful.
Mom.
You guys check her out at Ginger Bailey, Bayley, psychicmedium.com. Got it right this time.
Yay.
And y'all be sure to share, subscribe, and smash the notification bell. Love you all.
Yep. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.